So the short story to all of this, the majority of Honda Pilot inventory in the United States right now is 2024 inventory. The markup between invoice to MSRP is estimated to be at around 8%. I want to suggest targeting a 5% discount off of MSRP. If you were to lease the Honda Pilot, say it was a touring, it's probably going to lease out for about $667 a month. Now stick around for the long story if you want all of the other information that's going to help you land the very best possible deal on the Honda Pilot. Also, before I dive right in, at any moment by clicking the link in the description below, you'll be able to access a text summary of tonight's negotiation guide. Diving right in. So as I mentioned, the majority of the inventory is 2024 inventory. There's like 200 2023s still left on the ground, and that's probably going to change drastically by tomorrow or the next day. So Ford and Chevy have a ton of Explorers and Traverses. Ford at the moment has about 22,000 Explorers, while Chevy has about 8,300 Traverses, roughly around 6,600 Pilots, about 4,400 each of the Highlander and the CX-90, and 3,500 Ascents. 5-year residuals are kind of all over the place with these vehicles. At the moment, we're seeing about a 62% residual on the Highlander, going down to about 44% on the CX-90. The Pilot, as you can see, lands somewhere in between at about 55%. I couldn't tell you the main difference between the Honda Pilot and the Toyota Highlander besides reliability as to why Honda would have a lower residual. I would consider them both as like pretty much equals, especially because, in my opinion, the Pilot is more desirable than the Highlander in terms of looks. So we've got about 2,200 touring, we've got about 1,000 EXLs, we've got about 1,000 Elites, about 1,000 Trail Sports, and about 900 EXL 8 passengers. Literally no LXs or Sports on the ground. If you were looking to get a super cheap lease deal on the Honda Pilot, I'm sorry, there's no LXs for you to lease. Get your hands on one by placing an order or a deposit on one. You guys, just so I can make better negotiation guides in the future, let me know in the comments below exactly what you're going to be stacking the Honda Pilot up against, and if you are going to be getting the Honda Pilot, which trim you're thinking about getting. So for this negotiation guide, I've got a 2024 Pilot Touring all-wheel drive picked out. Mine has an MSRP of $50,830. So between Edmunds and iSeeCars.com, I was able to gather the fact that 8.1% is the markup between invoice to MSRP if you were to just calculate backwards. Now, this could change a little bit, 7.9, 8.2, and it largely all depends on how much equipment is on the car, but about 8% is what I'm seeing. The Pilot's going to lose about 15% of its value in the first year. This is expected of pretty much all new vehicles. Now, some luxury cars lose about like 25, 30% of their value in the first year, but Honda Pilots typically retain a decent amount of their value in the first year. And not to mention, if you can actually get a discount off of MSRP, your cost in that first year, not that bad. I want you to target about a 5% discount on the Pilot. You'll probably end up paying MSRP, but I still want you to target a 5% discount because realistically speaking, Honda Pilots are bread and butter vehicles for Honda, and Honda at the moment has inventory. So not targeting this discount would be kind of irresponsible. Go for about $48,300 on the Pilot Touring. Now, there is a 4.9% promotional APR available at 60 months. And I was sad to see that loyal Honda customers only get the $500 rebate if they were planning on leasing. The lease program's not actually, who am I kidding, man? It is awful. A 64% residual at 36 months for 12,000 miles a year, but a terrible 0.00269 money factor, bringing it to about a 6.4% APR on the lease. Now, plugging in a $50,830 Honda Pilot Touring, and assuming we got a 5% discount, assuming that we've paid the inception fees due at start, and assuming that you've hit like and subscribe, talking to you, we would be talking about $667 a month. That's not including your state sales tax. Now, payments can range. They are going all over the place. The Elite's leasing out for about $745. If you find yourself in LX, it's going out for about $535. Again, not terrible, but if you're looking at an Elite, I would probably end up buying it. Don't pay that much money on an Elite. It's terrible. You can probably get an X5 for about like $850 a month, but that's besides the point. I want to give the Honda Pilot a rating of about a C. The leases aren't terrible, but the money factor is just too much. If they could lower the money factor a little bit, dropping it into the low or maybe even the high 100s, low 200s, I'd probably end up giving it a B-. Now, given the fact that it has a 5-year residual of about 55%, multiplying that initial MSRP by 0.55 to get the 5-year residual lands us at about $27,956. The trade-in, however, will likely be less than this because dealerships are going to want to profit off of your trade. They'll likely offer you about 20% less than whatever the market value is on the car. This will land you at roughly around the $22,365 mark. I do want to give you guys a quick heads up. For a limited time, I am offering custom tailored negotiation guides where you can request I prepare one of these text summaries that I've got in the description. However, preparing it on your particular vehicle and unique scenario. It just got redesigned. We're not expecting a redesign anytime soon. This is the redesign. However, on the previous body style, we're seeing about 1,600 2020 to 2021s with less than about 40,000 miles on cars.com. EXLs are going out for roughly around $32,000, while the Tourings are going out for roughly around $35,000. And these two main trims are gonna be what you're gonna see on dealership lots for used 2020, 2021s. My suggestion, buy it new. Honestly, for $50K, you're getting a completely redesigned Honda Pilot. Not to mention, I wasn't that crazy about the previous body style Honda Pilot. I found it kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Bulbous. Let me know in the comments if that was the correct word to use. Buy it new. Again, you guys, a text summary of this negotiation guide is available in the link in the description below. If you found this information useful, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.